huge leap.
Hello guys, in this time we're going to see an improved version of the cemetery farming in a budget strategy that I uploaded last week. I did some changes to refine the strategy and now I think that it's both a smoother experience and also it has better returns. I mean, you are getting more profit out of this strategy. So why to change the strategy that was already working? I was not at all happy with the Abyss mechanic because all of the backtrack that you have to do in order to follow the worm, and also the Awakener Sextant prices went up a lot in this last week, and the red influence drops a lot of the Awakener Sextant, so I thought that it was a good idea to at least try some different path in the strategy. And yeah, you're going to see in the results that some of the changes were positive for the strategy. So you might have already be asking yourself, what are these changes? So one of the changes that I already mentioned, it was that I wanted to take out the Abyss mechanic and I'm substituting it by Legion. So Legion is a mechanic that you activate once, you kill some of the mobs in the stasis mode, and then you kill them again, and Legion itself is found a lot of rares, and that's pretty good for multipliers in your maps since we are doing so many stuff. And yeah, Legion also adds a lot of monsters that drop better loot than the Abyss, even though the Legion adds less monsters compared to the Abyss mechanic. Then the change from the blue influence to the red one, so we can drop some of the smaller currencies, for example the Awakening Sextant that is between 5 and 6 chaos each one. And yeah, and then there's also the Eldritch currency that can be pretty good. And yeah, then I'm going to be showing the new Atlas tree with some of the changes reflecting the Abyss and Legion switch. And yeah, those are the major changes for the strategy, and we're going to see that these changes are reflected then in the final section of the video that we're going to be talking about the profit per hour. So for the setup, we are using the scarabs, the polished harbinger scarab, the rusted bridge scarab, the polished divination scarab, and the new rusted legion scarab. And for the sextants, we are using, this is basically the same, but we took out the legion ones, but I'm repeating again in case that you didn't see the last video of this strategy. So the sextant one was for the harbingers, the mirror of delirium, the breaches, and an extra legion encounter. And for the influence, like we already said, we are going to be specing the red influence, and we are not using any option in the map device because the options that we have this league, I didn't think that they were good for the strategy that we are running here. Okay, for the Atlas tree I have here in game, we're going to be copy and pasting it to paint so we can show you the sections. So we are fully inspecting into anything that increases the density of the breaches. So we have breaches here, the flash breach here, and these nodes right here. Then we are fully inspecting in the harbinger nodes here, here, and here. We obviously have the whole hat, top hat, and the whole quantity wheel and the small quantity wheel. And then since we removed all of the Abyss's nodes, we have a lot of points to add into the Legion. So we are in here, here for extra chance in the Marrakech, and this is for extra chests. And here we add some extra, no, this is not a chance, this actually duplicates all of the loot that we get from the chest from Legion. And I saw that this actually increases your map times if you have to loot more, but the stuff that's dropped from these chests is pretty good, so I would totally recommend after running the test run. Then we have here the red influence, and I added the, since we are using the sextant for the mirror of delirium, we are adding some extra rewards. This will also increase the amount of daily orbs that we get in each time we hit these extra rewards. Then we have here the Seance combo. As you might already have noticed in my videos, I really like this combo. Then I added here since the cemetery map has not linear layout, I prefer to add this node so we can fully clear our map. As you can see in my last video that I uploaded a showcase, I have plenty of time to clear the whole map. I'm literally leaving like 10 monsters left in each one of my maps. If not, I'm killing them all. And I still have time, and I have to manually click the delirium fog to get the rewards. So I totally recommend this to not. And finally, I added some of the beyond nodes here, and also here for an extra chance of opening these portals that spawns more monsters. And yeah, that's basically for the tree. I didn't mention this, but this is for the Giga Sustain, so we can run the same map. So the test run consists in 46 maps. And now I'm going to show you all the raw loot, and then we're going to do a quick analysis and a queuing on the stuff that is less very available. So this is all the stuff that I got. And as you can see, there are a bunch of stuff. There are a lot of currency here. There are a lot of incubators here. Since now we are doing legions, and we have a lot of obviously clusters since we are doing these maps with delirium. And yeah, as you can see, there are more stuff here, and we're going to be pricing these all with POE stacks. So let's get into it. So this time I'm using POE stack instead of the classical excellence, because I saw that excellence was pricing some of the items wrongly. So for example, the incubators, some of the incubators were priced as 5 chaos, and they are like half a chaos. So I decided to change the tool this time. So this is why we are in POE stack. And here I'm pricing both of the tabs that we just saw in game. And as you can see, we have a total value of 36 divines. This is considering two factors. One, that I did transform the lesser essences value into the higher values. Still, the essences do not represent any meaningful portion of this loot. As you can see, 40 chaos. And the other factor is that I did remove all the divination cards that has a low value, and that they dropped a lot of them. So they could be inflating the prices in the cards category. So yeah, I will post one of the clips, me removing all the cards and leaving only the ones that are actually sellable, because we won't be selling one chaos or 2 chaos cards to a single person. So I took them out of the equation, and they are already not here in this list. So we have here 36 divines. And then another thing that you have to analyze here is that I did not get a brother's gift again in this test run. So I did get 96 unions, and you're supposed to get one gift per around 89 unions. So again, I didn't get one. I didn't get a single brother gift this whole league. So yeah, I did in your hand get 2 brother stash. So a bit unlucky in that sense. I will consider a guest price if we get brother's gift that we should get. You should get, guys, in average. But yeah, this test run have been pretty unlucky. And yeah, then taking a quick look to the list of the prices sorted by the total value. We have that we did drop 40 vines. Then we have the fracture with the refractory shard, sorry. Then we have the awakened sextants, that this is thanks to the red influence. So here we have a noticeable difference between the last version of the strategy, because these mostly come from the red influence altars. Then we have the stack decks, and we have a lot of them, and that's also thanks to the Legion rewards and the incubators, because I was using the incubators while I was mapping, at least the most valuable ones, the divination ones, the scarabs ones, and the ornates. That's the one from the currency. We got a bunch of chaos, and this is again thanks to the red influence, the invitation, the cards, and other smaller currencies. Since we are doing delirium, thanks to the POE stack, it also is pricing the the cluster jewels. And yeah, as you can see, there are more of the small currencies. And we have, since we are doing legions, we are having the emblems and the splinters. And yeah, also thanks to Beyond, we are getting the tainted currencies and a bunch of scarabs. And here are all the loot by the categories. And as you can see, most of stuff come from the currency. A lot of scarabs, cars, cluster jewels, and the other stuff. So now let's take a look at the last page, because you will find there the stuff that you may or may not be selling. So just to corroborate that we are not inflating the price here by picking up trash. Personally, I use a uber strict filter, so my filter is not even showing that kind of low value stuff. But yeah, let's take a look at the 13th page. We have here the essences that we can sell them all in bulk. Then we have some or more stuff. This kind of stuff, for example, is less than 1 chaos, so we don't care about that. Then we have the incubators here. We can sell all of the incubators in bulk in TFT. Then we have the fossils, and we have a lot of maps. We have more splinters, fossils, and again, all of this stuff can be sold in bulk. More scarabs, and there are stuff like this. For example, these that you have to sell one, you cannot sell that, but this is 4 chaos less, and we are already approaching the 5 chaos limit here. So this is why I usually consider my full tab, because I sooner or later end up selling all these loot that I get. But we can make a call here, even though the strictness of the filter is correct and all that kind of, and all that jazz. So let's have a mean total value of 3 chaos. So all of these minor value stuff will be filtered here. And yeah, so we are going to take the 32 divines, or let's say 7,000 chaos for the total price profit calculations. And yeah, I really think that all the rest you can sell. Always, it will require some time, but you will be able to sell all of these stuff that we get here from all the maps, especially the first page where you have the most valuable stuff. Okay, so for the following calculations, we have that I did run 46 maps with this setup. I did take the current prices for the bulk stuff here for the setup. So these are the prices for each sextant. These are the prices for each one of these scarabs. Remember that each sextant has 4 uses. So I calculate here the time for each map. And since I did 46 maps, this was a cost of 8.88 divines in total. Then we have that the revenue that we got by pricing the whole tab is almost 36 divines. But we did mention that we are going to call all the lesser value stuff, and we ended up with 7,000 chaos, and that is almost 32 divines. And we have a total profit of 33 divines. And if we subtract the revenue after the calling by the cost of all of these maps, so each map took me around 5.5 minutes, around that, I would say a bit less. And you also saw in my last video a showcase about running a full map, and that took, if I remember correctly, about 5 minutes. So 4.5 minutes for each map, and we did 46 maps, so in total that's 40, and that's 22 hours in total to run all of the maps. Like I said, each one of the maps was around 5 minutes, so I'm adding an extra minute between your get out to your hideout. You drop all the loot. So this is an estimate that all of the 46 maps took me 4 hours and 30 minutes. So we can calculate now the profit per hour, and that is basically 5 divines, that 45 with no burst gift. That is my case for this test run, and the last test run it did not get a burst gift, but you should have gotten one, taking into account the relative drop of the union card. And finally, I did the projection, what would be the profit per hour if you drop a burst gift, and that's 6 divines, that's 7 per hour doing this strategy. And yeah, as you can see, the profit per hour went up considering the last video. That I think that when you start accumulating stuff in your stashes, you cancel that less valuable stuff that you get here and there. But yeah, anyways, considering the culling and considering the changes that we did in the strategy, we did get more profit than the last time. And yeah, one thing that it mentioned is that they think that Legion is a smoother gameplay compared to Beast, that you don't have to backtrack at the loophole. So yeah, I think that these changes were positive for the strategy. And yeah, that's basically it. I think that the numbers are also pretty good, and I hope you enjoy the video, and encourage you, of course, to try this strategy if you aren't already farming higher level stuff, because all of this is considering this budget of less than 9 divines for a full 46 map. This is a lot. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe and leave a like if you please, and see you guys in the next video.